Welcome back. We're gonna be reading more stories from Reddit today. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for not leaving my wife so my daughter could live with me? My wife and I have been married for 7 years. We both have 15-year-old daughters. My wife's daughter has lived with her dad her entire life. My wife is an excellent mother, but her ex was moving across the country and she knew he could give her a better life than she can. 2 years later, they moved back to his home country, approximately 12 to 18 hours from us by plane. They flew my wife out to visit them a few times a year, and they sent her to visit us during her summer vacation. He got a job approximately a half hour from us, so we've had her 50-50 for the past few months. The thing is, we have a 2-bed, 1-bath house in a good neighborhood. My daughter has had her own room her entire life, and she did not take it well when she heard she had to share. She tried blocking my stepdaughter from their room, threw her stuff out the window, and tries to make my stepdaughter uncomfortable so she'll leave. Last week, my stepdaughter got here, sat on her bed, and almost immediately ran out coughing and covered in rash. My wife had to use her daughter's EpiPen and called 911. We didn't have a car at home. She and her ex got into a fight at the hospital and she got kicked out, and her ex is refusing to allow stepdaughter into the house. Ex is legally able to do this because he has full custody. We have a camera to monitor the dogs, and if the bedroom door is open, you can see into the girl's room. We had also just moved the camera and hadn't gotten around to telling my daughter yet. We decided to check the cameras, and we saw my daughter bringing nuts into the room and eating them on my stepdaughter's bed before touching everything my stepdaughter owns. My stepdaughter is deathly allergic to nuts. Nuts are not allowed in the house, but you are allowed to eat them in the garage, and you have to scrub your hands before you come back in. My wife understandably was furious when she saw it. She stormed into the girl's room, started screaming at my daughter, and told her to get the F out of her house. I talked my wife into letting my daughter pack a bag, and I arranged for my brother to pick her up. My wife is adamant that my daughter is no longer allowed to step foot inside her house. We filed a police report, and the plan is for her to stay in a group home or boarding school for the next couple years. Now my family and my daughter's mom are pressuring me to leave my wife, so I don't have to send my daughter away, but I'm refusing to leave. And I agree with my daughter's punishment because she nearly killed a person and caused my wife to lose her daughter. Ex isn't letting her into his house. Now I'm being called a bad parent by everyone except my brother, who is putting her to work on his farm until we find a more permanent arrangement, for choosing my wife over my kid. Her mom is not able to take care of a child. My wife and daughter spent time together regularly and had a good relationship before I married her. She was not shunted aside. They had a good relationship until my stepdaughter moved in, and she had to share her room. We did consider a 3-bedroom, but we own our house and will not be selling because housing prices and interest rates are very high right now. My daughter wasn't difficult and hostile before my stepdaughter moved in. She's never done anything like this before stepdaughter started staying with us. She will not be coming back here, and she will not be getting her own room. The plan is for her to be in some kind of facility until she's 18. Then she will likely be on her own. I know about the problems in the troubled teen industry. She will not be going to one of those camps. She will be in a safe place where she can get the help she needs without risking anything happening to us or my stepdaughter. Am I the a-hole? I'm sorry this is happening to your family, OP. You're not the a-hole for not leaving your wife because your daughter deserves her punishment. She deserves as harsh a punishment as she can get. She needs to realize what she did was extremely wrong and cruel. She almost killed a person. That's a crime. And she's lucky she's not arrested. Your wife isn't making an unreasonable demand. It's obvious your stepdaughter can't be trusted around your daughter anymore, so wanting her out of the house is reasonable. It's sad that it had to get to this point. If there's anything else, I would advise you try and talk to your daughter, or maybe put her into therapy to help her process her behavior and hopefully realize her wrongdoing. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. This is a hard punishment for your daughter to bear, but she did an absolutely terrible thing. She acted with intent to seriously harm your stepdaughter and essentially risked her life for this little stunt. 15 is young, but not too young to understand the gravity of a transgression. If your wife is to have any chance of salvaging her relationship with her daughter, she needs to demonstrate that she has acted decisively to protect her daughter from further harm in this situation. If you leave your wife, then your daughter gets at least part of what she wanted to achieve. It's a tough spot to be in, OP. I'm sorry for all of you. Your daughter never had behavior issues prior to her stepsister being in her life regularly. I think you are doing your best, but for your daughter to never have family in a family home where she has space is heart-wrenching to me. So the 3 years she is essentially under lock and key, and then she's expected to be a grown-up. I'm so sorry for all of you. You are not the a-hole, unless there were ignored signs before this happened. I wish the uncle could take over. I hope you eventually can find some peace in this. I think you just answered your own question and don't need any of us. You're trying to get her the help she needs. Sometimes even the best parent can raise a kid who does bad things. You give them a foundation, but what they choose to do with it, that's on them. Don't blame yourself because blame and guilt don't accomplish very much, if anything. Following through with consequences for bad behavior will do something. Getting her help is what you know is right. You're not the a-hole, and I wish you all the best going forward. Keep loving her and let her know you love her, but not the behavior. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for never helping my siblings with their kids at family events? My husband, late 20s, are both child-free and have multiple siblings each. I have 3 older siblings, my sister, brother 1 and brother 2. I have a grand total of 14 nieces and nephews, which is a lot, I know. My sister has 6 kids and is a single parent. My parents like to host family events and invite all of the kids' grandkids. They're old and I'm cherishing the remaining time I have with them. I don't want to skip these holidays because I don't know how many I'll have left with them. Recently, at the 4th of July thing, my parents through my siblings went off on me because I never help with their kids. Quite frankly, I don't like almost any of their kids. The 2 I like are old enough that they don't need me for anything. Changing diapers, feeding babies, and chasing toddlers has no appeal to me. And I don't like my siblings enough to want to spend my holiday babysitting. I just want to spend time with my parents. As soon as I got there, both my sister and brother too were asking me to change diapers, which they know I won't do. Then I'm being asked to help feed babies, which I say no to. Then I'm asked to help change a toddler that emptied a ketchup bottle on himself. I say no again. They know I have no intentions on child managing, so I don't know why they even ask. My sister's kids were crying and then she started crying and yelling at me. I told them if I wanted to take care of kids, I would have some. And if she wanted breaks, 6 kids with 6 different deadbeat men was a bad idea. My dad and my husband are both on my side, whereas my mom and siblings all think it's my responsibility as a sibling to help. My siblings never help me with anything, like ever. They wouldn't help me move, wouldn't help me put up a fence when a hurricane took mine down, etc. I feel like relationships are supposed to be give and take, and all they expect to do is take. Am I the a-hole for never helping with childcare at family events? You're not the a-hole, OP. From your story, it's obvious that if you say yes to changing the diapers once, then you'll be saddled with the responsibility of doing it every time. Just one occasion and you were already bombarded with a lot of requests to help with your siblings' children. It sounds like a lot. You're not their parent, they are. If you volunteer to help, that's okay, but I think your siblings should not expect you to help with childcare at family events or go off on you for not helping. They should respect your choices. Now for some comments. Yeah, not the a-hole. I'm the sibling with kids. If my other siblings volunteer to help, I'm thrilled. I have occasionally asked for help and will pay my younger sisters too. But if someone says no, I absolutely respect that. I'm the one who chose to have kids. They're my responsibility. My siblings don't owe me help. It's so weird that your siblings are mad at you and insist on rehashing every family gathering. That is so rude. Not the a-hole. Hey, help me with my kids. Sure, I understand you have responsibilities to your kids right now. So I'll help mom and dad set the table because you're too busy with your kids. And I'll help them clean it up since you're busy with your kids. And I will help get the wine and drinks and food since you're busy with your kids. And I'll help them move the groceries since you're busy with your kids. You're here at your parents' place. Helping out the host is natural when it's family or even when it's not. Helping out the other disorganized invitees is not your problem. As the one sibling in my family who has kids, I would be annoyed if, say, my siblings just stood and watched while one of my kids did something dangerous at a family event. It would also be a little strange if my siblings made no attempt to play with or talk to my kids at a family event. Aunthood, unclehood requires a certain level of engagement, you know, but I have never once asked my siblings to feed my kids, or change their diapers, or clean up their messes. That's my responsibility. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for leaving my girlfriend alone in the ER to go work out? This is not a shitpost, and I feel like I already know the answer. My girlfriend asked me to drive her to the ER for what we are assuming is pneumonia. When we pulled up, the parking lot was packed and I realized we would probably be there a while. So I mentioned I could probably run to the gym to lift while she waited to be seen. She didn't say anything and just kept walking. While they were getting her vitals, I heard another patient say she had been waiting for almost 4 hours. I told my girlfriend when she came out that we would most likely be waiting a lot longer, and I would just work out late that night. She told me to just go to the gym and that she would wait alone. I told her I would make it really quick and be back as soon as possible. I also asked her if she would be mad and she said she didn't care. I left her there to go to the gym and about an hour later she texted me saying she was leaving because she was feeling really sick and the nurse told her the wait time would be even longer because of 2 traumas that got admitted. She ended up Ubering home because I wasn't there to drive her home. She doesn't seem to be actually mad at me, she just said she wants to go to bed. I feel like shit, but she also told me to go. Am I the a-hole if she gave me the okay to leave? Update because I'm getting a lot of questions. Number 1, she went to the ER because urgent care was closed and was having severe tear-inducing back and chest pain when breathing. 2, my girlfriend has not responded to me since last night. I'm assuming she will be my ex very soon. I spoke to her sister and apparently her parents are annoyed with me as well. She went to urgent care this AM and does have bacterial pneumonia. Now for some comments. You're the a-hole. I would have told you to go too because I didn't have the energy to be mad. Oh, I wouldn't forget it, but at that moment I would not have the emotional energy to tell you how to be a decent human being. She took an Uber home because you went to work out. Dude, you just zeroed on good in a crisis. You better have a ton of shit you're good at. You're the a-hole. A few years ago, my roommate found me coughing, gasping for air, and crying in my room in the middle of the night. He went out of his way to drive me to the ER and waited 5 hours for me while I was being seen and treated for pneumonia and asthma-related issues. You get where I'm going with this? My roommate, who I barely knew at the time and was a decent human enough to do that. This woman is your girlfriend, dude. Wow, get a clue. You're the a-hole. Of course, she didn't care if you left. It was bad enough that you even suggested it. Damage was done right then. You're supposed to support your partner in difficult situations like that. Instead, you treated her like a burden that you unfortunately got to shrug off to go to the gym. She's not angry only because she's resigned herself to this fate. To having a partner that doesn't care enough about her to be there in a time like that, and leaving her to take an Uber home from the hospital. I'm sure the driver gave her a questioning look too.